So before we start, I actually have a serious question for you. Do you guys say pasta or pasta? I actually don't even know how to say it the second way because I feel like I'm lowering my voice just to say pasta. Apparently it's a very Canadian thing to say pasta. Please let me know, I'm genuinely curious. Anyway, thanks for being patient. On with the video. Who doesn't love the taste of Italy? I'm assuming this is Italy, I've never been there. Anyhow, Italy is known for the wine, the pasta, the carbs, the many sauces, seasonings and garnishes, and of course, the beautiful style and architecture. And often enough, Italian food and Italian culture is conflated with romance and date nights. And somewhere along the way, most North Americans seem to have unanimously agreed that Italian food and French food are deemed the most romantic of dining experiences. And so my friend Moroko and I decided to check out this beloved and well-known Italian spot in Vancouver, Trattoria. And I'm very excited to show you this spot because it genuinely has one of the best lasagnas I've ever had. This Italian spot is located on Kingsway and is in a super traffic-heavy spot since it's super close to Metrotown. Thankfully, they have a parking lot downstairs, so there's no need to fight for parking. Let's talk about this gorgeous patio. There are large windows letting the natural light in and plenty of heat lamps to keep away that winter cold. And it was much appreciated because it was cold as hell that day. The patio is chic with black and white stripes, touches of wood grain for that rustic feel, beautiful greenery dangling from the walls, and these cute lamps that remind me of jellyfish. Overall, very aesthetically pleasing, but probably more stunning in the summer. Now the inside has much the same vibes, with a slightly different color palette. What I really liked was this massive pizza oven that sort of acts like the centerpiece of the restaurant. And as you get further into the restaurant, it gets dimmer and you really start feeling those romance vibes. Now let's talk about the food. We had so much good food, to the point that we were so incredibly full that our tummies started to hurt. We ended up packing up so much to take home, but honestly, not the worst problem to have. We started off with a classic appetizer, bruschetta. They sliced the meat right in front of us, and you know how I love it when restaurants put on a show. None of that packaged meats here. Freshly sliced, freshly prepared, and 100% amazing. And of course they didn't serve it just like that. That would be far too basic. They added a bunch of stuff to accompany the prosciutto to make it that much better. The salty prosciutto is blended with olive oil and a mixture of veggies to add that bit of sweetness. It was so perfectly balanced, so absolutely delicious. Then we got another classic, the beef carpaccio. A slightly thicker slice of meat with mustard dressing, shaved fried capers, and baby arugula. And of course there's cheese on top as well. There's a lot of fresh parmesan, but also there's this giant glob of burrata. And I was incredibly excited for this. If you've never had it, it's like a giant, soft, fluffy cloud of goodness stolen from heaven itself. Now I really enjoyed it. Comparatively, it's a much richer and heavier appetizer. But if you're looking for a slightly more filling appy, this bad boy is for you. Now in terms of lighter appies, there's this simple but deliciously sweet tomato and basil. They did add burrata on ours as well, but zero complaints about extra cheese, right? When we go to Italian restaurants, we tend to order things that are a little bit on the heavier side. So it actually doesn't hurt to get something that's a little bit lighter, more refreshing like this. Now let's finally talk about an entree. It's pizza, baby. Like I said, they have a massive oven in the middle. which provides a bit of a dinner and a show experience. You get to watch these incredible chefs knead the dough, bake it in the oven, sauce it up, bombard it with cheese, the whole shebang. There's something actually kind of relaxing about staring into the oven. The way the smoke moves is super therapeutic and relaxing. I was also really excited to watch them make the dough, because I thought they were going to toss it in the air like the TV shows. But this man, well, he broke my heart. He just walked away without tossing it at all. But who am I to tell this man how to do his job? I'm just one broken-hearted man trying to make his dream come true. I just wanted a little bit of this. Is this too much to ask for? For him to be a white guy in a backyard tossing dough for no reason in a stock video? But real talk, I really do enjoy watching chefs work. I'm one of those people who binge watch cooking shows and retain zero knowledge, but really enjoy it nonetheless. The pizza was delicious. Solid flavors, decent amount of cheese, thin crust, which I really like, decent toppings and good topping coverage. The only gripe I might have is that it was slightly flippity-floppity, lacked a bit of structural integrity, but in their defense, we filmed for quite a while, so there's a chance we may have softened it from just letting it sit there. But overall, a very decent pizza experience. And then there was this masterful piece of art that they presented us with. A 3-tiered pasta tower for 2. There's a number of pastas you can choose from. I won't go through it all, but you can check it out on the Trattoria website. To start, we got this mouth-wateringly good ravioli. It was stuffed with short rib and mascarpone and a red wine cream sauce. And like any good restaurant, they topped it off with so much cheese. And I actually have such a soft spot for stuffed pastas because they kind of remind me of dumplings, which I love so freaking much. I hope the Italians don't come after me for saying that, you know? So I really enjoyed this pasta. It wasn't too chewy, it wasn't too soft or hard, just a little bit of chew for that al dente feel. It had just the right amount of filling. It wasn't so much filling that it just outshined the pasta. And I think that is a problem that we have in the Americas, where we tend to overstuff things or put too much on the toppings, that we can't just enjoy the simple things like the pasta or the rice or the noodles. And it's a really important part of the food culture, you know? Anyhow, this was absolutely delicious. So I'm actually not going to get into this pasta too much. There wasn't anything inherently wrong with it, but the other two just overshadow it way too much. So apologies to the chef, we're just gonna skip it. Now here's the masterpiece itself, the best lasagna I've ever fucking had. They call it the 100-layer lasagna. Layers of bolognese rosé, cheese and pasta. So simple, so perfect. I wasn't quite used to its presentation. Usually it's like a deep dish style, stacked layers of lasagna. This one's almost like it's laying on its side. But that's beside the point. The flavors were perfect. Cheesy, savory, meaty, and it came out steaming hot. Like this is finish a basket of bread by dipping in the sauce kind of good. It's so amazing. If you're still watching here, I am freaking out right here. It is so good. Then we had this Forno roasted chicken. Not gonna lie, wasn't looking forward to it. I assumed it was gonna be dry, but it surprised me. This herb marinated half chicken with grilled broccolini and roasted potatoes was decently juicy. And lastly, we got this dessert that was a little bit extra. A signature tableside tiramisu for 2. They made espresso-soaked ladyfingers with a mascarpone mousse, mocha, anglaise, and fresh grated chocolate. It was creamy and rich as expected, and surprisingly not overwhelmingly sweet. Highly recommend. Overall, such a good experience, and I'll definitely go back. They still have lots on the menu to explore, and a big thank you to Moroko for taking me to this great place. She also has a YouTube and an Instagram, so make sure to check her out. And as always, thank you so much, you lovely, sexy, intelligent panda people, for watching this video. As a small content creator, just for someone to have noticed the video exists means a lot, so thank you so much. And of course, if you like this video, subscribe, like, comment, all the good stuff, you know what I mean.